So in the famous movie How a Grinch Stole Christmas, our next roaster saved Christmas by essentially just being a kid who volunteered at the old age home and hung out with a grumpy old man, right? Let's welcome to the stage Cindy Lou Who.
Hi everybody, I'm Cindy Lou Who. Give it up for Eddie Furth. Nice costume, Eddie. You look like you can't go near the kids you build the toys for. Thank you, everybody. Let's start with my fellow child, Kevin McCallister. Hey, Kevin, why don't you make like the real Macaulay Culkin and get molested? Macaulay spent so much time with Michael Jackson, you should have set a blowtorch trap around your asshole. And how the hell is that sick, violent movie Home Alone a family classic? That movie is like what the Columbine kids first jerked off to. If they scanned your computer, they'd find custom Doom levels full of Tim Curry and Joe Pesci. And your second movie is even worse. Your parents left you alone to go hang out with Donald Trump. It should have been called the Birth of 8chan. I hope they don't make any more sequels, because Kevin would grow up to be one of those libertarians that prays a burglar breaks in so we can shoot him. And you use stuff like paint cans and blow torches. How about you make like an American child and use a gun to kill an adult? And at the end of the film, you got rescued by an old man who'd been watching over you, and thank God the movie ended there. Then we have Rudolph. Rudolph, everybody. First of all, your song goes, you know, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen. No, I don't. This song is the first time they're ever mentioned ever. Are they trying to generate buzz? What is this LA bullshit? And there's so much subtext in your story. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Just say they called him a faggot already. I can read between the lines. And then you have your only friend, Herbie the elf from the TV special. It makes sense that you hang out with a dentist, because anyone who spends time with you is going to kill themselves. I hope you join in the reindeer games if they're playing Russian roulette. But Rudolph, your story is so inspiring. Hey kids, everyone is going to hate you for being a minority, but you too can grow up to be a glorified LED headlight. If your movie happened today, Santa would go, I got an iPhone light, go fuck yourself, freak. And there's the woman behind the man, Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus, everybody. Mrs. Claus, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here, Mrs. Claus. You took some time off from your usual Friday night, getting throat fucked by the Easter Bunny. Mrs. Claus, does it ever concern you how many children your husband asked to sit on his lap? Why don't you give Santa what he really wants for Christmas? Access to the dark web. But seriously, Mrs. Claus, you're a strong, independent woman, I'm sure. I'm sure while Santa's out, you're at home hard at work on your Etsy page or whatever rich white lady bullshit you got going. But I think of all of us and all the portrayals we've all had in Christmas films and TV shows, Mrs. Claus, you've had it the worst of all, because you had to fuck Tim Allen. What a marriage that would be. You spend your life shoveling reindeer shit and then watching your husband make pronoun jokes down at the fucking Laugh Factory. That club sucks. It fucking sucks. It's for dipshits. Ebenezer Scrooge is supposed to be here. It's a shame that he's not here. First of all, what a shame it is with the laws these days that Mrs. Cratchit was forced to carry Tiny Tim to term. That's why Cratchit works so much. He's trying to get away from the child he doesn't want. But seriously, Scrooge, I'm glad you could make it to this event before your appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. I can tell you were written by Charles Dickens because you look like you take kids up the chimney. I thought that was pretty good. A lot of pedophile jokes tonight, you're not wrong. And And then we have my dear old friend, the Grinch. The Grinch, everybody. First of all, I'm glad your heart grew 3 sizes. It means you'll die 20 years earlier. Grinch, you sit in your house and complain about noise, noise, noise. They should call your story How the Autistic Ruined Everyone's Fun Again. I'm autistic, everybody. That's a vital piece of context. It makes sense you're played by Jim Carey because you look like you give your girlfriends herpes. Google it. Grinch, you're a miserable little joy-hating monster. And speaking of little goblins who hate Christmas, hello, Menorah. Menorah, I don't know why you're here. You're the holiday equivalent of a special needs kid they let score a touchdown. You're like the kid who your mom makes you call because his dad died. Like, we'd be filled bad if you weren't here. I'm surprised your jokes didn't bomb. This dais has children on it. No, but Hanukkah involves the lighting of candles after the Maccabean victory over the Seleucids, where the lighting oil did not run out when expected. Doesn't this sound like fun? You do this bullshit for 8 nights? I'd rather binge watch Emily in Paris. But yeah, you enjoy delicious treats like latkes and matzo ball soup. Scrooge thinks your food sucks and he's fucking British. Seriously, Menorah, Hanukkah sucks so bad no one would care if they tore its poster down. You're not wrong. Let's talk to a real holiday symbol. Christmas tree. How are you, Christmas tree? I'm glad you're here. You're under so much stress to keep up appearances. The Charlie Brown tree got an eating disorder. But you look gorgeous tonight, darling. There are more balls hung on you than Mrs. Claus when Santa leaves. But I feel bad for you, Christmas tree. You have so many PS5s shoved up your ass, you can play Fortnite in your colon. But let's talk to the man of the hour, the reason for the season. Santa Claus, everybody! First of all, can we talk about how he hates Jews and Muslims? No, yeah, seriously, you hate Jews and Muslims. It would be so easy to include them, and you don't. You drop presents down chimneys and bombs on Middle Eastern weddings. But that's not the only thing you believe, Santa. You also hate poor kids. They get way shittier presents, you fucking capitalist. Even Scrooge is like, you gotta fuck them with a little more finesse than that, Santa. But I love you, Santa. You've done something truly admirable. Upstaging that little bitch Jesus. Hey, speaking of Jesus, do you think Mary shit herself when she gave birth to him? Jesus reminds me of Mrs. Claus because he got visited by 3 men in the night. Jesus was the original Christmas ornament because they cut down a tree and hung him from it. But Santa, I'm glad you don't include the Jews and Muslims and poor kids because you represent Christmas, and being nice to people who are different is not something Christians do. Thank you, I'm singing the hood.
Man, Michelle from Full House is dirty. Jesus. Keep it going for Cindy Lou Who.